Hello and welcome to this brand new episode of Technovation. Today we feature the intersection of technology and health. And to help us with this, we'll be engaging PsychX, which is a website that connects people who have mental health problems to counseling psychologists. We'll be talking to the CEO, Juma Theophilus. Stay tuned.
Um, my name is Juma Theophilus. I am a pharmacist. I'm the CEO and co-founder at PsychX Limited, which is a mental wellness and well-being company focused on providing access to comprehensive, tailored and friendly mental wellness services to both individuals and corporate institutions. Yes.
So, why did you decide to start PsychX? Is there a story behind this innovation?
Well, the story goes far. By the fact that I'm a co-founder, it means I have another co-founder with me. So we both have a story behind that. And personally, being a medical practitioner or a healthcare professional, I've come across instances where people look for help and they're not able to access the help because of not knowing where to get the professionals, the cost associated with the mental health services, or basically stigma in the African society. And therefore, encountering such challenges in the field, I thought that it would be wise to come up with something that allows people to access these services with a lot of ease and convenience, while at the same time focusing on confidentiality, because this is a personal service and you don't want somebody to feel stigmatized, especially in the African context, because they are looking for a therapist or a professional to talk to. So people don't want to really say they are going through a mental health situation or crisis. And with technology, we are seeing a significant paradigm shift where people are confident and comfortable to just come on board and say, I need help. Because in as much as there's stigma, if you are able to have a platform where you can confidentially just search and access a professional, then that gives you some sort of confidence, and then people start warming up. So by the fact that we're seeing people coming out and saying, I need to talk to a professional, then it means that aspect of stigma is slowly fading away. And there's also some significant effort being put in to create advocacy or awareness on mental health, and that's really helping to remove that cover around mental health. Within 2 minutes, somebody is able to get the professional help that they need. So basically, there are various ways. So if you go to a platform, you can get an immediate help by either calling or clicking on a button, and then it takes you directly to WhatsApp. So which means you get a professional on the other end. And what that does in a crisis situation is that it gives you what you call psychological first aid, which essentially it's meant to de-escalate the situation so that you are in a proper mind frame to have a properly scheduled session and then get the necessary help. The other process now, it's just the booking process, where you go through the entire process registering your account, and by that it means that you're able to take control of your account. So nobody has access to your information but you, because you secure it using a password. And that process only takes about 2 minutes, and then you're able to get a professional.
How does PsychX different? How different is PsychX from the other platforms? Because I know maybe there's an idea which maybe has been tried
Yes,
by some
yes.
other people out there. What makes you stand out and just be on top of the rest?
Attempts, as you say, there have been attempts to provide solutions to, say, mental health issues or health issues in Kenya or in Africa at large. But what usually happens is people try to import Western solutions and then make low versions of those solutions and implement them in the African context. And that does not work. So what we've done is, in as much as we're introducing technology, which is, say, a borrowed concept, we are trying to incorporate the African context in the way that we value our cultural sensitivity, we value our diversity, we value our beliefs. So we try to bring in an aspect we call preventative approach. So we don't just go into immediately forcing people into adopting technology into mental health. We approach it in a preventative approach where we destigmatize the entire space, create awareness around it so that people know what challenges they're facing, and then they can be able to comfortably come out and say, I need help.
Many people are running to develop mobile applications, for instance. And I was just wondering, why have you not felt the pressure to go with an app and just do with a website?
Okay. Our approach or our decision to use a web app is basically backed up by our data, our research that we did, where so many people were uncomfortable to download an app because there's so many apps out here which are trying to provide solutions. So people are very uncomfortable downloading an app for them to access sessions. So figure out a situation where you're on the edge, you're in a crisis, and then you're trying to get help. So you're forced to download an app, create an account before you get the necessary help. So we want to make it seamless and easy so that by the click of a button and say, just search PsychX or mental health professional near me, it leads you to PsychX immediately. And you're able to, once the tabs are open, you're able to get a professional immediately. Yes.
Definitely. You said you are a pharmacist.
Yes.
That's on your end. Technovation is highlighting the technology bit of the whole process.
Yes.
But then there are psychologists, active psychologists, who the user is going to be connected to.
Yeah.
Maybe you can tell us about the network of psychologists.
Yes. So we are working with a network of psychologists who we vet thoroughly. We take them through a criteria of onboarding process, looking at their credentials, qualifications, years of experience, and then we interview them and onboard them to our platform. So our network has as large as 50 in number, a number of 50 psychologists and more, whom we work with. Depending on the clients that we see on a regular basis, we always try to onboard more and more. Yes.
My understanding is that technology is not bound by geographical locations. I mean, a technological product can be used anywhere, and that means that PsychX is accessible to almost all Kenyans, everywhere. But then, for now, which parts of the country have you actively covered?
Okay. As you said, there is no geographical limitation with technology, and that tells you that we've also seen clients even as far as the USA. Rwanda, we've seen clients from United Arabian Emirates, and coming to Kenya, mainly the clients that we see virtually are the clients that are within Nairobi, because I think this is where knowledge on mental health is really better compared to the other areas of the country. Again, depending or bound by the cultural differences and beliefs that we have around mental health. So Nairobi is more adaptable and more welcoming to these services that we offer.
So I am done with the registration, and I've used PsychX to get connected to a counseling psychologist. Once that is done, I'm now here with a psychologist live on location, and now she's going to listen to what I have and possibly help me figure out how to solve my mental health problem. Thank you so much.
Karibu sana.
Okay, so I think utatuambia tu jina and then we get into our session today.
So my name is Catherine. I'm Catherine Jere, a counseling psychologist at PsychX, and we are here for your session. So do you mind telling me your name, where you're from, and how you came to know about PsychX?
So my name is Dennis Omondi. I'm a journalist based in Nairobi. That's where I come from. So I came to know PsychX through your social media platforms, and I thought you can help me solve my problem.
Okay. So you're a journalist by profession.
Yes.
It's a nice thing, being a journalist, a lot of cameras.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's really a nice thing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what would you like us to talk about during this session?
I'd like to talk about I feel like I don't have enough friends. I feel like I see some of my friends, I've got people they are close to, and they really seem very happy. I don't think I have that happiness, and it is one thing I'd like to change in my life.
It's a bold step to come and seek therapy for some issues that you feel like they're not aligning with how your lifestyle is going. So it's a really good thing that you came. So before we continue with me, I have a consent form. As you're going through it, I'll be explaining to you what is in the consent form. There's information about payment. We normally pay 3,000 for a session, and you can use the number indicated there. But if there is need for you to, if you feel like you cannot raise the 3,000, you can also speak to me about it. And also there's the issue about confidentiality. That means that whatever we discuss in our session is strictly between us, but I might break the confidentiality in case there's need for you to, if you harm yourself, or maybe other people who are around you, or if a child is involved, I might have the need to break the confidentiality. Yes. Also, there's some rules and guidelines that will guide our therapy sessions. That includes the time of arrival, which is convenient for you. Things like that. That's what is included in the consent form. So if you're comfortable, you might go ahead and sign. Yeah.
So I think I am comfortable with the explanation, and I feel like I want to sign this so that we can proceed with our session.
That's nice.
I'll fill my client's name.
Yeah.
Which is Dennis. And the date today,
Yeah,
which is
today. It's 5th.
okay. And then I append my signature.
Yes.
Alright. Okay, so that's done.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dennis. So, since it's our first session with you here,
Yes.
I'd love to know how you feel being here today. How does it feel for you?
So, first of all, it is kind of strange. I'm not used to doing this.
Yeah.
But I feel like I have an urge to speak and to get to have this problem solved. That's what I care about right now.
It's very normal to feel strange since we are both strangers to each other, but I assure you as time goes by, you'll be able to feel free. And I might also as well assure you that this is a free space, so just feel free to address your thoughts, your emotions, and everything that pertains yourself. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so since also it's our first time meeting each other, I'd love to know some things about you. So have you ever had a mental issue before?
Not really, or maybe I have, but I've never gotten to a point where I feel like I need help. So I don't have any history of mental health problems. Maybe this is the first one that has driven me this far.
Okay. What about a medical issue, for example, arthritis, cancer, high blood pressure, such medical conditions?
No, I've registered none so far.
Okay, that means you're a very healthy person. That's really nice.
I thank God.
Okay. So tell me about your family members, your family. How many are you? Your mom, your dad?
So I think I come from a rather big family. I have 6 siblings. I have both of my parents, and they are caring. I think they have tried to do for me what parents do for their children. And also my brothers and sisters have been there
Okay.
for a large part. don't have any serious complaints about them. Yeah, I think I'd still choose them to be my family if I was
Wow.
meant to choose again.
That's really commendable. Did you have friends while growing up?
Yes, I had. I had friends, but I don't really know if I had friends because most of them were, let's say, schoolmates, and also from the places where we used to stay. And when we relocated, it meant I had to leave them behind. The same to those in school. When I changed schools, I had to leave them behind. I think they were friends, but then I lost all of them.
Okay. So you might say like when you are growing up, you had a lot of classmates and you're putting them in a certain bracket because you don't regard them mostly as friends. I'd love to know your definition of friends. Who is a friend to you? How would you define friend?
I define a friend to be, I believe that a friend is somewhere between family and not so much of a stranger, somebody who I can turn to anytime
Yeah.
with any problem. When I feel like there is something I'm going through I can't share with my family members, or they are simply just too far to help me with, it is somebody who can step in for my family member anytime.
So would you consider your siblings as your friends?
Yes, I would. I would.
Yeah. So I'd love to know about your education background since you started school, primary school, and also high school, and if you went past high school. I'd love to know how the journey has been.
So I started right from nursery school. I spent a year there. I started school a little bit late. So being that I started late, I had to jump some classes to get to where my age mates were.
Okay.
Then once I did 1 year there, I went to primary school. It was a good place. I think I had so many social networks there. I made so many friends. I was outgoing. I had these leadership positions, and basically many people knew me. I felt like it was a good experience because I wanted that attention and I got it at that point.
Okay.
I transitioned to high school, and then it is in high school that I started feeling lonely now. Yes, it is here that I feel like I didn't make enough friends, and I can't go back to the friends I had in primary school because of when we went to different boarding schools and some people moved, we've not seen each other in a really long time.
Okay.
Yes. And the trend that started in high school followed me into university, and transitioning even from university into the workplace again. I mean, I have been kind of engaged most of the time, and there is not really enough time to make new friends.
So previously you had mentioned that you have a problem with making friends. Do you feel like that problem began at high school?
I strongly believe so.
What are some of the things that you feel like might have triggered the sudden change since while you're in primary school you had a lot of friends, right? Yeah, and suddenly in high school there's that change. What do you think might have triggered the change?
I talked about loving attention at some point.
Yeah, you did.
And, the way our education system is structured is such that when you pass your exams, you get to go to a school where you meet people who have equally passed their exams, some even more brilliant than yourself. And when we got there, I met people from different parts of the country, and I felt like the attention and the spotlight was taken from me
Okay.
for some reason, and I kind of took the back seat in the school because there were these people who were very active, very loud, and you know, coming from the village and meeting people from the city, they know everything. You are like supposed to learn from them, and so I assumed the weaker role and failed to bring out my personality that would interest people and attract people to me.
Okay. Would you describe yourself as someone who is very social, can can talk with other people freely, or maybe you can describe yourself as someone who loves their space, you are more introverted, you like to do things your way, things like that?
About 8 years back, I would describe myself as someone who is very social. Today, I feel like I'm more introverted.
Have you ever heard of ambiverts?
I've heard of the term, but I've never cared to look deeply into the meaning.
Okay. Would you like for me to tell you the meaning?
Please.
So ambiverts are those people that can easily interact with other people, but they love their space. Like they're in between introverted and extroverted people. Sometimes they are just very comfortable when they are alone and they like their space, but then that doesn't limit them from interacting with other people, making friends, networking. You understand what I mean?
I understand, because even the job I do, journalism, is all about going out there and speaking to people and talking, basically getting information from people. But once I'm done with that and I now get back to my own space, I kind of feel lonely there. Yeah.
So you might consider that as being ambivert.
So that's not a problem.
Okay, sometimes these ambivert people normally go inside like a cocoon and just stay in their own world. Like sometimes they feel like it's where they belong, but since you're saying that when you get out to do your work as a profession, it doesn't limit you from doing your work, right? Because anything that limits you from doing your work becomes a problem. You understand? Okay. Because there are other ways that you can express yourselves. Do you mind if I share with you?
It's okay.
Okay, so there's journaling. Do you know of journaling? Like you can just write down your thoughts, emotions in the moment where you're feeling you're lonely and none of your friends is attending to you. You know, there are some things that are very personal that our friends, we can't change our friends, but you can change yourself. You understand? So like you can start journaling. Is it something that you think you can try to do?
Yes, I can, given the fact that what I do deals with writing
Oh,
and
nice.
documenting things. I think it's something I can try.
It's something you can try.
Yes.
That would be a really good initiative to just try to express yourself and try to write down what are you feeling, what are your emotions, something you have told your friend, you can just write it down if you feel your friend is not filling in the gap, so that it might reduce the stress that is coming with not sharing what you're going through.
Are you or someone you know suffering from stress, anxiety, depression, or any other mental related problem? The help is always near you, and PsychX is telling you that you can do this digitally simply by logging into their website and booking, for example, a therapy session. You really want to do that because, as they say, your mental health is your wealth. Thank you so much for watching this particular episode. My name is Dennis Omondi. See you again in the next one.